All right, here we go. Today we have a strength training program for endurance runners and athletes. Make sure you have some soft space or a mat for some of our exercises, as well as an option for some weights or dumbbells. And if you're at a gym or have access to a box or a step, that might be helpful as well. But none of that is necessary other than having a mat or some soft space for your knees and arms. So let's get started with just like a gentle warm up here. We're gonna shake and bounce on the heels, take some deep breaths in and out. So we got a workout today that's gonna target important muscles for running. Let's get into a squat here. Inhale, lift up, hands together. Exhale, back and down. So we'll be working on the hamstrings, the glutes, the quads, the calves, the hip flexors, and even more importantly, we're going to target the core. So nice and easy here, warming up the body, taking a big breath in, reaching up, and then sitting back, keeping your spine extended as much as you can as you sit back and down. The knees are tracking even with the middle toes, so you want to make sure those knees don't cave in. Reaching the hips back, the weight back towards the heels. Let's do one more squat here. All right, so let's switch to an inchworm here. So standing at the edge of your mat, you're going to reach down, walking the hands forward. And we're going to hold in our plank for a few moments. Take a nice deep breath. And then hips up. Really reach the hips up as high as you can here. And then start to walk back. Small movements here. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And then coming on up. Let's reach up. Reach back down as we exhale. Walking forward. So most importantly, all these exercises today are going to leave you feeling strong and confident. This time we're going to lift the left heel, hold it for a full breath in and out. Other side, challenging that rotational strength. If this is too much for you, you can always go onto your elbows or onto your knees or modify any way that you need to. Good. And we'll do one more here, reaching up, exhaling, coming down, walking the hands forward. This time, walking the hands even further in front of the head. A little bit more of a challenge. And then alternate toe or heel lifts here. See if you can keep your hips as stable as possible. Nicely done. Walking the hands back. Baby steps. Walking back to the toes. Getting a nice stretch of those hamstrings. Straightening the knees as much as you can. Then bending them again. Coming on up. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do as part of our warm-up, super important for our lateral stability. It starts from the feet, so lift the toes up, create a nice foot tripod. Base of the big toe, base of the heel, so we've got our balance. So important for running stability, for ankle stability. And what we're going to do is we're going to sway the hips to the right, okay? Lean the left hand down, okay? And then shift left, straighten the right leg. So we'll do that a few times. So what you'll notice here, we're working the outside of the right hip. Really important for lateral stability. If you think about running, whether it's just pure running or you're doing any kind of sport, it's just a continuous single leg balancing, just at a different pace, right? But the more we're able to balance on this one leg, find that lateral strength. If you're dealing with any kind of lateral knee pain, ankle pain, hip pain, this one is going to be really helpful for that. Okay. And if you want even more, you can Really shift your hips even more to the left as you come on up. Nicely done. Other side, let's get that strong foot tripod position. Sway the hips to the left, lean that right hand down. It's okay if you lose your balance, just come right back up. So you can play around with it here. I'm wobbling a little bit. Ideally, as you sway, this left leg is relatively straight. And then especially as you come up, shift to the right, you're locking in that left glute. I've even seen this done with balancing a Swiss stability ball between you and the wall and pushing into that. Or if you want a challenge, you can just add a resistance band around your waist and hook it into a rack or a wall. Let's do one more here. Nicely done. Shake it out. We're going to do another warm-up activity here. It's going to be a single leg around the clock, single leg squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to balance on the right leg. Left leg is going to come forward. Hands can be in front of you. We're going to squat down and touch the foot to 12 o'clock. Come back up. And then we're going to touch to 9 o'clock, coming back up. Hinging at the waist, reaching back, 6 o'clock, and up. And then over and across, 3 o'clock. Nicely done. Back to the front, side, back to 6 o'clock, and across, challenging the balance. Now if you want a little bit more challenge, you can go lower, reach further. Nicely done. Keeping that foot stability. It's okay if the knees come over the toes here. And if you go lower, you'll need to. I'm feeling my hip really working already. So that was 3 rounds. Let's go to the other side. Balancing on the left foot, hands in front of you. You can go 12 o'clock, out to the side, 3 o'clock, bending back to 6, and across and behind, 9 o'clock. Nicely done. Keep it up. Make sure you're coming up to standing every single time. Option to go a little bit lower. Side. Reaching back and up. Reaching across to the other side. All the way up. One more time. Around the clock. You're doing great. We're getting so much stronger today. Stay with it. And up. Let's shake it up. Shake it out. All right, so this is a time to find a box if you have one. Also time to find some dumbbells if you want to challenge yourself. We are going to do a step up, or if you don't have a box, I'm going to demonstrate a reverse lunge. Either way, if you have the box, you're going to start on top of the box and you're going to do a slow step down. We're doing our reverse lunge. I'm going to start with the right foot working here. We're going to do a low step down and then strong knee kick, knee drive up. Okay, so we're going to go for 8 on this leg. So I'm going to just demonstrate without any weight right now. So roughly a tempo of about 3 to 4 seconds down and about 1 second up. Really drive the knee up as you come up. That's going to help with your hip flexor. We're strengthening the quads, the glutes. We're working our balance and our stability and our hip flexor strength. That's so important for running, to help drive our knees forward, to create a little bit more acceleration. Good. Nicely done. We're going to switch sides here. Again, if you want to challenge yourself, add some weights. You can just hold on to the weights by your side. So make sure to meet yourself wherever you're at. Key here is to go slow on the way down. You can lean forward, and then pop right up. If you're doing the step back lunge, see if you can go as low as you can before you touch down. Challenging your range of motion. Strong knee drive up. You're doing great. Good. And take a rest. So the next thing we're going to get into is a Romanian deadlift. Multiple options here. I'm going to grab some weight. The Romanian deadlift, really important for your posterior chain strength, targeting the glutes, the hamstrings, and the core. The back core is engaged. We shift the hips back as we slide the weight down, feeling that nice hamstring stretch, getting to about parallel. Most of the weight is towards the heels, and then a strong drive up. Okay, so that's option A. Option B is doing a single leg Romanian deadlift. Okay, so if you have your balance, okay, we're gonna do about 8 each side. Okay, if you're working on the 2 leg, that's fine. You can increase the quantity, you can add the weight. But if you're not used to hip hinging, highly recommend starting with 2 legs, getting your balance. As you can see here, I'm doing an advanced version, which is balancing the whole time. Option to just come back to standing or even tap behind you on the way up. So lots of options, keeping the core engaged. Okay, switching sides. If you're doing the 1 leg version, you can even add the knee drive on this one. So lots of options here. If you need to, you can always add weight or modify, taper down. You listen to your body. That's the most important thing, is finding that balance of challenge, but also capability. So we're simultaneously working on the hips, the hamstrings, the core, our foot stability. Good, nicely done. Gonna take a little breather there. If you need to, do any kind of stretching in between, open up the hips, shake out the legs. You take care of yourself. So the next exercise is shoulder tapping plank. So we're gonna start to work on the core. That's option A. Option B is a renegade row. So I'll demonstrate both of those exercises. We're gonna go for about 45 seconds on this one. So definitely gonna test our endurance. I'm just gonna have my weights handy here. So finding your plank position, and this is going to test rotational core. So tapping one shoulder at a time, go ahead and begin. You'll notice that you have to really dig in the opposite foot into the floor to prevent the rotation. So that rotational strength, super important. So keep it going here. If you know the renegade row, that's another option. We're still challenging our rotational balance, but adding a little bit more of a challenge. So find the right challenge for you. And if the shoulder tapping plank is too much, just come down to your elbows, come down to your knees. A little bit of rotation is going to happen, but really dig your feet into the floor. You got this. There we go. Nicely done. Whew. All right. Let's get to our side plank on the elbow, right underneath the shoulder. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. We're going to stack the feet for this one. Option to alternate the feet if that's easier for you. And we're going to come up. If this is too much, again, just go to the knees. Okay, so that's a modification. Now, if this is good, you want challenge, we're going to get the opposite leg or the top leg lifting up. See if you can get the hips up as high as you can. Keep it going. Again, challenging that side body strength, the obliques, side glutes. Well done. And we are going to shift right away to the other side. Again, strong shoulder. It's going to test your shoulder strength as well. Lift the hips up. Keep the space away from the ears. And then again, option to lift the top leg. So this is a very challenging progression. So again, do what your body is capable of. With the knees, it would look something like this. And notice, can you breathe? Can you embrace the discomfort? And while your body's going through this challenge, slow down your breath. Say, no, I got this. You got this. One more. Good. And come on up. Take a little breather. If you need to, pause the video. And we're going to get into our calf raises. So what I like to do is turn the toes in slightly, create that foot tripod first, and then we're going to lift calves, or lift the heels rather, up and down. Option 2 is to hold on to the weight. Option 3, finding a step and allowing the heels to drop even lower. Okay, so you can play around. We're going to go for about 15 of these. And even another option is to come down on a single leg calf raise and then come up on 2. So you can play around with the single leg. So lots of options. If that all is too much, you can even walk around on the balls of your feet, and that's going to help strengthen the calves. But this is so important for injury prevention. Calf strength is going to help with acceleration, lift off. It's going to help with absorbing shock. And super important that when you run, making sure you're landing on the balls of the feet. You're not heel striking. So we want to avoid too much extra force going up into our joints. So the more we can train this forefoot position, being on the balls of the feet, the better. Nicely done. Probably did over 20 there. Good, shaking it out. So the last thing we're going to finish off today is with a little bit of plyometrics. We're going to do some jumping, some bounding. So super important for overall tendon strength, reducing injuries. Also just going to help with your overall acceleration, your neuromuscular efficiency. And what we're going to do today is a side bound or a lateral skater. Again, a lot of options for this, but basically we're going to work on starting on one leg. We're going to jump to the side and find our balance. And I'm going to encourage you to find a pause, okay? And if you need to bring that other foot down, just bring it down for balance, okay? So if you got the hang of it, you can get even lower and go side to side even faster. So again, finding the right challenge for you, getting the hips low, pushing off to the side, okay? You can even hold a weight in your hands for a little bit more challenge. Let's see if you can get even lower. You can touch the ground with the opposite hand, okay? Good, and rocks, shake it out. Ooh, got the heart rate up there. So we'll definitely work on your endurance there, overall acceleration, and that's really just integrating a lot of what we worked on strengthening for. All right, so we're gonna finish off today with a split jump. Again, helping for all the same stuff for our acceleration, for just the strength of our body overall. And let's finish this last one strong. So split jumps, right? We're in that lunge position. We're gonna jump straight up and then just change the feet. So here we go. You can get the arms involved too. And then you can play around with going faster, right? Or slowing it down, getting your balance. You can even add some weight if you want. Kind of creating that bounciness. And if you can really lift off, get up, get your hops going, that's great. Let's go 4 more. Woo! There we go. Shake it out. And slowly fold forward. Maybe bending one knee at a time. Nice work today. I'm gonna come down to the floor. Okay, and sit down on the heels here. Taking a little bit of a breather, getting a nice quad stretch. And then coming to hands and knees, we're gonna just shift the body weight forward for a gentle back bend. And then hips all the way back to the heels. Getting a little bit of a stretch. Coming forward again. Nice little back bend. Maybe shifting the weight side to side. And hips all the way back. Doing whatever stretch you need to. Or, you know, if you're about to go for a run, go play, like this is a good primer for that. You can integrate this even before some of your runs, or you can alternate it on off days. But overall, this is going to bring a lot of strength to your legs, a lot of stability, and just prepare you overall to improve your athleticism, reduce the rate of injury, and help you just feel better overall. So thank you for joining today. Please share if this resonated with you, and I'll see you soon.